The book of Isaiah, chapters 40 through 48, the one true God versus idols. In studying this section, 1. To see how God used Isaiah to comfort a generation of Israel long after his own death. 2. To consider the challenge made to the nations of men and their idols proves the existence and identity of the one true God. 3. To note the prophetic references that were fulfilled with the coming of Jesus Christ. Now we begin a new section that continues through the rest of the book of Isaiah. Chapters 40 through 66 contain prophecies and proclamations that were designed to comfort God's people when they found themselves in Babylonian captivity. Though Isaiah himself did not live during the period of Babylonian captivity, as a prophet he was able to speak words of comfort to those who would experience that difficult time of Israel's history. In chapters 40 through 48, a recurring theme is the challenge that the God of Israel makes to idols and those who worship them, to prove their existence by proclaiming what shall happen and then bring it to pass. Chapter 40 serves as a prologue offering comfort and assurance, not only in view of the coming deliverance ultimately fulfilled with the coming of Christ, 40:3 through 5, but in light of the incomparable greatness of God who supports and strengthens all who place their trust in Him. In chapter 41, God's greatness is illustrated by His challenge to the nations. He challenges those who trust in idols to do as He did in announcing His plans to bring them to pass. He also challenges Israel to not fear, for He will not forsake them. Chapters 42 through 43 describe God's care for Israel, especially through His coming servant, Christ, chapter 42, 1 through 4, and His superiority over the nations, including Babylon. Chapters 44 through 45 reassure the people of Israel as God's chosen, as the Lord promises to deliver them through Cyrus of Persia. Such deliverance will cause many others to turn to God. Chapters 46 through 48 reveals God's coming judgment on Babylon and His plans for Israel. The idols of Babylon are nothing and certainly unable to do as God has done in announcing His plans beforehand and then bringing them to pass. God's judgment will humiliate Babylon, then He will redeem Israel, having refined her for His glory. These chapters, 40 through 48, contain one of the most powerful arguments for the existence of God. Through prophecies uttered by His servants hundreds of years before they were fulfilled, we find evidence that God exists, and that He is the God of Israel. Here ends the book of Isaiah, chapters 40 through 48, the one true God versus idols.